What is up, friends? I'm Lala, and welcome to an episode of the podcast that nobody asked for. Put it in my mouth.
Put it in my mouth.
Judith's here.
I'm Judith.
So, hi, welcome.
Oh, thanks.
I have some questions for you. I have to look at my phone, though.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, I know. So, these are just dating food-related questions. Okay? Yeah, I want to hear your answers.
Okay.
Okay, Judith. Do you think that a woman should tell her date if they have food on their face?
Oh, hell yeah. That's just...
Or if a guy...
If you pass someone on the street and they have food on their face, you have to tell them.
Well, that's
seriously.
excessive, but okay.
That's the kind of person
so absolutely,
I am.
yes?
Oh, 100,000%.
Okay.
Question
2. Is it possible for a woman to be too into her food, do you think?
That's a weird question.
I know.
Yeah.
You think so? Like you could get a little too passionate about what you're eating?
I feel like everybody... Well... Now we're gonna get philosophical.
Okay.
Like, if you're faking it, is it really that good? I feel like a lot of people.
Well, we're
fake
not
it.
asking for like a When Harry Met Sally moment.
Yeah, but I feel like people overdo it.
Okay.
I think you can relax.
But you have seen me though sometimes be passionate about food and have a moment.
Yes, but it's few and far between, and you're not like, I don't know, being weird about it.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I'm dating you and eating food.
So that was 2 questions.
Yeah.
I have a third question.
Okay.
And the third question is...
Where are these questions coming from? These are totally weird questions.
These are really stupid questions. This is quality journalism.
No, it's not. This is... Where is this coming from?
Okay, here's my third question.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you the answer.
You're going to ask me the question.
I'm going to ask you the question.
Okay.
You're going to give me the answer. I'm already drunk 2 sips of this drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to read you our guest's answer.
Oh, snap.
Okay. So, Judith.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite post-sex snack?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Wait, get the fuck out of here.
You need like,
you
know,
a big bowl of spaghetti and meatballs after
you just worked out.
After you do the sex.
Like 10,000 calories.
Okay, the answer our guest gave was,
Oh.
I love having juicy watermelon or grapes. If you're doing it right, you're pretty sweaty and hot afterward. So fresh fruit is nice to cool down with.
Why do you know this?
All right, well, you can all hear him laughing in the back.
Is that out there in the internet? Oh my God.
All right, let me introduce our guest.
That must have been bad boy brand face, Spike Mendelsohn.
Our guest today is a former fedora-wearing Top Chef contestant.
I answered
a
that
juicy
way.
watermelon.
I'm
Sorry, I can't even get through this.
And grapes.
I'm not kink shaming you.
If you ask me now, I'd be like bacon and eggs.
Not kink shaming you.
All right, a former fedora-wearing Top Chef contestant, a cookbook author, I can't speak now, a food activist and sustainability advocate. He's the owner of several restaurants and concepts. He's a chairman on DC's Food Policy Council and Burger Bash winner.
Ooh.
I bring you Evangelos Spiros Mendelsohn, a.k.a. Spike Mendelsohn, everyone.
Spike Mendelsohn.
Let's go. Thank you for having me.
So interview over, because now we know all we need to know.
A long place away from juicy watermelons.
That was in 2010 in Cosmopolitan
Oh my
magazine.
gosh. I mean, I have done some interviews, that's for sure. Maybe
think I have a
canceled
new
a couple
goal.
times.
I have a new
knows?
goal. If Cosmopolitan does not ask me 5 dumb questions before I die.
Wow, we better get that famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were those
ASAP.
their 5 dumb questions?
There
or
was 5 questions. I could read you the other ones.
my answers?
Well,
Oh no, it's okay. Please don't. Let's spare.
can just Google
Let's
it.
spare everybody that.
Just know that if they're out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then my first question to you is, where'd the fedora go, bro?
I mean, listen, I had to ditch it. I think I think Justin Timberlake took it over around
we'll blame
when
it
I
on
brought it to market.
everything.
Then Justin
Fucking
just walked
Justin.
in. And so you can't have
Serious.
Justin and me out there. in the world.
There can't be
of
two
fedoras.
fedora wearers.
No, there can't be, two
Good
super famous,
Lord.
talented people out there wearing fedoras.
Justin, get a hold of yourself.
I mean, because I always
So
do
full
like
of himself.
Really?
Yeah.
a
yeah.
deep dive on our guests. And I watched so many clips of you wearing that fucking fedora. I
Yeah.
Was
gotta
it the
say.
same fedora, or was it like a fleet, a fedora fleet?
I saw 2 different fedoras.
It started as one fedora.
Okay.
And then it soon became a fleet of fedoras.
Did people start gifting you fedoras?
People started gifting me fedoras. The fedora.
It became
But
your...
what about the fedora?
Yeah.
The fedora?
Okay. Okay.
Fedora.
Yeah,
So
fedora.
whether you
What
liked
about the
it or
bidet?
not, right?
Yeah. So no, it just it was my first time doing anything radical, like going on a TV show, basically, and I was like,
You need to have a thing.
I have to have a thing because my food's not going to be my thing.
Hey, no
I have to
attention with
overcompensate for
With
the lack
fashion.
of experience here, and so the fedora was the gig, and then all of a sudden fedoras started appearing on set. And they're like, "Hey," production was like, "Wear this one."
Where's your fedora, Spike? Go get
wear
it. We
this
can't
one.
shoot you with
I
that.
didn't know I was going to be edited the fedora chef. So yeah, that's
Yeah, you absolutely were.
Yeah, I was.
All right, well, let's take it back before the fedora.
Yes.
So you're originally from Canada.
Yes.
And you're from a restaurant family, like back to like your great grandfather.
Big time. Yeah.
And then y'all moved to Florida.
Whoa.
There's a little in between Montreal
you
and
lived in
Florida.
Spain.
In Spain, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, this
I
is
know.
impressive.
She
Fucking
goes-
hey, this
yeah.
is impressive.
Look, it's all out there
Yeah.
on the interwebs.
Yeah.
But wait, did you get sent to military school?
Wow, is this like a
Were you
therapy
like a
or not?
bad kid
I was
then?
a bad boy that loved juicy watermelons, I guess.
Behind door number one.
Yeah, no, so Montreal. I grew up in a restaurant family in Montreal, big Greek, full of restaurateurs.
Would never tell by your name.
Yes, because my mother remarried. I'm Gruish.
No, I mean
Greek
Evangelos
Jewish.
Spiros.
Oh, well, I was talking about the Mendelsohn. Yes,
Okay.
Evangelos
Yeah, I was-
Spiros
Doesn't
Nakis.
sound very Greek. No. Lauren.
Yeah.
Not very Greek.
It's not what I
Not very great. Hence Spike. But yeah, no, I come from a huge restaurant family in Montreal. I grew up in the industry. It was kind of weird, just
So why did you get sent to military school?
why did I get that is such a loaded question. So why did I get sent to military? I was just a bad kid, basically.
Okay.
I was kind of, I grew up in a subculture that is the restaurant industry. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
And
I
those
was
are bad people.
and I was especially in Florida. Yeah. So I grew up around criminals in kitchens in Florida.
We should Google.
And-
You played the Florida Man game, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, where you
Yeah.
Google your birth date and Florida Man?
Yeah, Florida.
Anyway, do that at home, people.
Love the Florida man.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, my parents were full-time restaurateurs, so they were night and day at the restaurant. Holidays, we were at the restaurant. Weekends,
Right,
I was
and
at the restaurant.
If you grow up in that, you
Yeah.
probably want to get away from it.
Totally.
And you don't want to do it. Because I read that you said, I didn't want to be a chef.
I didn't want to be chef, and that was the rebellious piece of me that eventually got my ass sent to military school.
Not gonna be a chef. I'm gonna be a criminal.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna deal
Same thing
drugs
sometimes.
and so yeah. I mean, I had a moment where again, like I was growing up in the industry from a very young age, so everything was very second nature. The restaurant subculture to me was normal.
Yeah.
Like yes, the dishwasher was a criminal, and yes, the mop guy was this, and yes, but the saute cook only had 9 fingers and carried a gun on the line when I cooked next to him. It was like just that kind of culture.
Those were the times.
Those were the days.
Yes.
Those were the days. I'm telling you.
Military school.
Cocaine was part of the mise en place. It was just
Absolutely.
like, it was, and I think, because I was the least of the bad kids in military school. So I was kind of shocked when I went to military. I was like, wait a second, like I'm not this level of bad kid.
Bad kid.
Right, like I'm not like the best kid, but I'm not
Is it like
any
the
of
last
these
stop
kids.
before jail? Like these kids are gonna go
It
to this
felt that
school or-
way. It was very international. I mean, like, look, I look
Oh.
back on military school, and I'm like, didn't really love it, right? For all
Oh,
these,
really?
all these different reasons. But there's a piece of it that I did love, and it is just I have like this group of international friends from all over the world that I met throughout military school, which I would have never really had.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like an interesting thing, and all those people are in my lives today, So it's
That's cool.
yeah. So from that point of view, it's cool. But But yeah,
And
military
you
school.
probably
was
got
rough.
some structure you were missing.
I mean, listen, like mise en place, like military taught me how to be better in the kitchen. That's for
There
sure.
you go.
Sure.
Because then,
Yeah,
hey, plot
yeah.
twist, you ended up being a chef.
Yes, I ended
So,
up being a chef.
You
and-
went to culinary school because what?
Yeah.
You told your mom, like, I'll do this. Tell.
Yeah,
what?
no, I ended up going to culinary school because what was happening is I kind of left. I think I ran away. I ran away from military school.
Ran away from military.
I ran away
Oh.
from home and military school because I was with like this older
What
girl
a
kid,
brat.
like a huge whatever. We don't want to get into that story, but and I was working in clubs. I was doing all the wrong things, and my grandfather got diagnosed with lung cancer, and so my parents called me back up, and they're like, "Listen, we need your help. You need to come back to the restaurant. We need to go back to Canada. We need to take care of your grandfather for the next year while he's going through this treatment plan." And so, you know, I wasn't a complete dick, so I went back to the restaurant, and they came back basically a year later, and the restaurant was more efficient, running better. It had like new menu
Look at you.
items.
Military school.
It was
did
like all
help.
these like different things
Efficiency.
yeah, and they were like,
all 10 fingers and toes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, we still had the 9-finger line cook. Yeah, definitely. Couldn't get rid of him. No, he was the
He's a lifer.
Yeah, he was the best. He was the best. But and then so they said when they came back, they were like, "Listen, stick around another year. We'll send you to culinary school." So that's
Okay.
what I kind of made a deal with them. I was like, "All right, let me see this through," and I was still very reluctant to go to military school because kind of what you brought up, like I was already jaded of the industry at a young age. I was just like, you know, I grew up with it all. You know, like our server at my parents' famous restaurant is the most wild guy. One of our servers there was like one of the biggest cocaine dealers in fucking Florida,
Of course
right?
he was.
And I remember
Still needed a day job?
I know, right? How much money was he actually
precisely
making?
needed a day job so he can be legit on
legit.
paper.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And the funniest thing about
Your restaurant was
Smart
washing
guy.
his cocaine money.
the funniest thing about Joe is that, like, you know,
him out.
our Christmas parties were at Joe's mansion because, like, Joe the server could afford having a better Christmas party for the staff than like
Than the restaurant.
us, the restaurant, right?
Thanks,
And
Joe.
I remember Joe, like, you know, 15-foot tall, like Christmas tree, and Joe's like twirling staircase, and it was
dear.
weird. But yeah, so I come from that kind of industry, that piece of it.
Okay, so then apparently you must have fallen in love with it on some level because
Yes, I did. I fell in love with the industry when I went to France. Yeah, when I worked in France, because up until the point, well, I went to culinary school, and I was like, oh shit, like these kids don't know what a béarnaise is, or oh, like stocks, like what the fuck, you don't know how to make a chicken stock, and
mother sauces.
yeah, the mother sauces, like, and you don't know how to cut a potato, and I wasn't full of myself. It was just like the first introductory courses of
Right.
like the 6 months. They really get you on those introductory for 6 months.
Were you wearing a
That's-
toque?
I was wearing a fucking toque.
Right, you traded in for fedora later.
I hated the toque. No, the fedora came after. I traded the toque. Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. And yeah, so my first year at culinary school was more like, oh, I found like myself a little bit because I was like, oh, you grew up, you know more
Oh,
than
I know this.
yeah,
stuff.
and it was just second nature. It wasn't like
Cool.
it wasn't like I didn't know what I didn't know, you know. So it gave me the confidence to kind of really go for it, and that's kind of when I ended up, working in the north of France for a while.
And then you worked at Le Cirque, you staged at Le Bernardin.
Yes.
Here's my favorite
wow,
story,
Stage
though.
Le Bernardin. How do you get that out there?
I mean,
wow,
that's on the internet.
Yeah.
Look,
It's not even a
this
thing.
is my favorite story, though. You applied for Top Chef and you got denied.
Oh, yeah.
So what you did was you sent Andy Cohen
I did.
an 8 email.
I hate email. I said.
Tell us what said it.
Yeah.
What was in that email?
Yeah, I had tested, they scouted me. I was working for Drew Nipperant at the time at my Vietnamese restaurant, Tribeca.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of came after me. They were like, hey, we want you to be on the show. I was like, I'm not going to be on this stupid show. And they've convinced me to at least go through the process. They casted me, flew me to LA, wasted my time, kept me sequestered, all this shit. And then they refused. They were like,
And then they were like,
"You didn't
just
make the fucking
kidding."
show. You didn't
It
make
feels really
you didn't make the
terrible.
show. And I was like really pissed about it. Even my submission video was amazing. I went to like Chinatown. I bought like a huge sea bass.
Even though you didn't want to do it.
I bought
Right,
a fucking.
but once
I
you
bought an
go through
eel.
all that-
I bought an eel. eel. I fucking wrestled an eel on camera, for this
Damn it,
fucking
that's
show.
quality television.
And so so I was disappointed. So I emailed Andy from our last response. I was like, I can't believe you guys are doing this. This is the worst decision you've ever made. Your show's going up in flames.
Oh!
In flames.
Wow.
And I thought I was so witty. I was like, you guys are Top Chef. You're going to go up in flames.
The anger.
Yeah. I was like,
And he read it aloud at his cocktail
sent.
party.
Yeah, sent. I felt,
that, Mr.
Yeah, I
Cohen.
felt real
Right?
good.
I saw him
Yeah.
on the street the other day, by the way. Anyway.
I have weird interactions with Andy Cohen. Like,
Okay.
I have literally he walked out of the cab I took the other day in New York City, and I was like, really, Andy? Like,
Should we remember
Yeah.
that email I sent?
he had a 16-year-old boy with him, but we won't talk about that. Just kidding.
Oh. Okay, so you sent him a hate email.
I sent an
and then
email.
Andy was like, ooh, I sense a villain in this character. Let's get you on the next season. Is that what happened?
I think possibly that's what happened. I mean,
Okay.
he sent me an email, maybe email response 5 months later to that one.
Okay.
I was like, hey,
He was letting you stew in your hate
yeah, he's
for
like,
a moment.
sorry you were disappointed. Would do you want to go through the process one more time? I said, I don't want to be on your show. This fucking sucks. And
Already wrestled
of
with
course
Neil. I've already done it
Yeah, of course I went back on.
And you went back.
Yes,
So then you're on Top Chef.
I am.
And then you got 4th place, just out of the top 3. So close. So
Just
close.
edged out. Edged out.
And you,
Did you write another email?
I did. I was like,
Strongly worded.
Well, no, I started Scallopgate that time.
Scallopgate.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about Scallopgate because that's in my notes.
Yeah.
You were eliminated on a frozen scallop.
That's right.
Do you still stand behind using that frozen scallop?
I still stand behind my dish, obviously, and
you go.
the frozen scallop gate, as we say.
As one says.
It was one of the most viewed episodes of Top Chef.
Okay.
Biggest ratings because the fact of I was literally fighting with the judges because I felt sabotaged by the use of. This is what happened. I won the quick fire challenge.
Okay.
And I got an advantage, and the advantage was off a piece of paper to pick ingredients that the rest of the chefs cannot use as an appetizer. Scallops was one of those ingredients. So I said,
and
I'm
also
going to
you
use.
picked tomahawk.
That's right, tomahawk for my entree.
I know
Look
all
at
the things.
details. This
No,
is fucking
she's
legit.
got it. Yeah.
And
So
and
they gave you a frozen scallop.
so when I
Yes.
walked into the walk-in,
These motherfuckers.
And then they blame him.
Are you
I know.
kidding me?
And he
Yes.
called out the chef
Give
saying, well,
me
you
an
had
email
it in your
address.
walk-in.
yes, yeah, they were scolding me. They're like, "Well, all about being a chef is knowing what your ingredients
Oh.
are, and not letting ingredients, come into the back door of your restaurant." I was like, "I'm in your fucking restaurant, dude. They were in your walk-in. Like, what are you, I'm a guest."
So you serve frozen scallops in your restaurant? Is basically what you were saying to the guy.
Basically, I'm sure and Rick Tremonto is a great guy.
It's Rick Tremonto, okay.
And he had a lot to deal with after that episode aired, and I felt bad because he would nonstop get phone calls about checking on the freshness of his seafood and his scallops at his restaurant.
And
And
the scallop gate.
the scallop
as
gate.
it were.
And no, he's a top-notch chef, and he wouldn't use frozen scallops. And it was much more of the early Top Chef days when they were maybe forcing us. It was still very authentic cooking.
Because this was season 4.
Season 4,
Yeah, it was new.
and our season was kind of like we kind of flipped the script on season 4. I think we were really answering back to the judges and
I mean, you were.
Yes,
you for
yeah,
sure
me
were.
for sure,
You were
and-
calling out your fellow contestants.
Yes.
You got into it with Dale
that's
at
right.
one point.
That's right. We were.
But also, there's only so much actual drama that can be going on back there. Really, they're gonna have to throw some shit in there.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's personal or a frozen scallop
course,
or
they need
whatever,
the
a dull
drama.
knife. They're gonna have
Totally.
to create something so that there's real friction, or else it's just gonna be a bunch of really great chefs making really great food.
exactly.
Who wants to watch that shit?
Nobody wants to watch that show.
So speaking of Top Chef, when you get a quick fire, is that real? What's the real time? Because we know we got to set up cameras, and it's not usually what you see. But
Yeah.
what is the actual time frame of? Here's the challenge. Go.
Yeah, they're usually 15 to 20 minutes.
Right, and
Yeah.
you really only get that when they give
You
you
really
the challenge?
only get that. So when it's go, and then time starts, and there's no, there's no
no time to
timeout
think.
or bathroom break or there's none of that shit. I mean, it's like you just gotta go for it.
And
Yeah.
how long is a season of Top Chef for filming?
Probably 2 to 3 months. It was probably
that's
2
a long
months
time.
for the initial.
That's a long time.
You shoot every day?
They shoot every day. I forget, there might have been breaks here and there. They shoot very differently than when I'm like an old guy now.
Yeah.
They shoot, the way they shot Top Chef on season 4 is definitely not the way they shoot now. I just did a show as a judge for the first time, and it was these like this is the whole fucking generation. They have it too easy.
How?
What the fuck is going?
I'm
what
not
the hell is
arguing
going
with you,
on?
but
What is
they're
going
weak.
on here?
How was it
Little
going
bitches.
back as a judge now?
It was great, but I was like, wait a second, like
Back
they're-
in my day,
they're-
we had
they're-
frozen skulls.
Yeah, they're all exactly. Well, the upside of that whole episode is it actually led to one of my biggest moments on Top Chef, where Anthony Bourdain was a judge, and they brought me back. They brought all the All-Stars back, and
Right,
I
you
was
were
an
also
All-Star,
on
just to let
Top Chef
everybody know.
All-Stars.
Well, obviously.
Judith, I don't know if you know, but you're sitting amongst not
I
a James
could-
Beard
I could
winning, but an
feel
All-Star
it. I could- I
Top
could
Chef
feel
All-Star.
it,
You're
and I
feeling
didn't
it.
know where it was coming
Yeah, I
from,
just
but
want to make
okay.
sure you're
It's
getting the
coming
vibes.
from-
Yeah,
okay.
it's from over
I
here.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they had you. The first challenge with those fucks were like kick the dish you were kicked off. I mean, you have to cook the dish you were cooked off for with the same frozen scallops that I initially got. And
He's shit.
And you didn't lose.
no, I won.
Oh,
I
congratulations!
won the
you
quick
were
fire.
redeemed.
And Anthony Bourdain said, I'll never forget, he's like, isn't Spike the craftiest motherfucker to ever be on Top Chef? And I
Wow.
just
And
fucking,
then you
my heart
creamed
dropped.
your
I creamed my
pants.
pants and I'm still wearing those pants. From,
And you put it on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's at the bottom of your resume.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's a good one.
Lovely.
Yeah, it came
good
full
one.
circle. Scallop Cape came full
Oh my
fucking circle.
God.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with anyone from the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm friends with many people from the show. I mean, a couple,
Like, who are you close with from the show?
Marcel Vigneron.
God, another.
He's
You two are just.
He's one of
two
my
a
homies.
kind.
Yeah, he's a big homie. We've traveled the world together, Marcel and I. He's actually in town right now for the next week here in New York. Andrew D'Ambrosi, a guy you wouldn't know, but he was on my show. He's out in London in the Cotswolds.
Okay.
Stephanie Izzard. I mean,
Oh yeah, she won your season.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She has
She's one of the best chefs.
brilliant restaurant
Yeah.
in LA called Girl and the Goat.
Girl and the Goat.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
She's
Has
got Duck
any-
Duck Goat.
She
too.
what?
Duck Duck Goat.
Oh, right.
Her
Duck-
Asian
yes.
style, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone won Top Chef that you thought didn't deserve it?
Oh.
How would he know?
Yeah, like I don't really.
You don't
follow-
watch. You don't watch all the seasons.
No.
No.
I haven't watched one season other than the
But
one I
this
was
show
on.
made
I
you
rewatched my
famous.
season over and over.
In slow motion.
Yeah. In fact, when it's the new season of Top Chef, I just watch my season again. And because
One a week.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
so we'll skip that question.
yeah. No, I mean, like, I mean, it's everyone.
I mean, we're
deserves-
being manipulated to pick
Yeah.
a favorite or someone you don't want to win, but honestly, we don't know what this stuff tastes like.
I mean,
right? And
some,
it should
some
be what it
seasons
tastes.
fall flat. Some seasons are better than others. It's like it's hard to gauge the talent of a chef based on if they want a show or how well they did on a show.
Yeah,
or
it's
not.
not like
true.
a dancing
You
competition.
You got some great chefs that came out and were horrible on that show that like have done amazing stuff in the industry, and then vice versa. You've had chefs that have won that really kind of
Maybe it's just TV's not your skill set.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
done Top Chef All Stars, Iron Chef Redemption.
Yes,
You
and I've
did
lost
Beat
all of
Bobby
those
Flay.
shows.
Maybe
I've lost
maybe
all
you
those
need to
shows.
be on
Yeah.
Dancing with
No
the
redemption
Stars.
there.
Wait,
What?
you were on what?
No, I'm just saying.
No.
Maybe we should get him on Dancing. You said
Dancing on the
it's not a dancing
Stars.
show.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
Did you beat
sure.
Bobby Flay?
I beat Bobby Flay in. I don't know. I think I was a judge on Beat Bobby Flay.
Oh,
I
you
forget.
okay?
I think I was a judge. I didn't compete again. I competed against him in the Rachel Ray Burger Bash and beat Bobby there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You were on Top Chef with our friend Greenie.
Oh, I love Greenie.
Yeah, I just hung out with him the other day.
Yeah, I saw him. That's right. On your. I saw
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Is he's in West Coast now still?
No, yes, he's
Yeah,
in LA.
yeah.
He just came for the day.
I love him. We had a good time on Iron Chef together.
Okay, so how do you shift? So you've got this fame. I mean, I assume that like Top Chef opened a ton of doors for you,
Yeah.
right? And so how do you shift from celebrity chef to like actual business owner?
Well, I was
How does that
business.
happen?
I was used.
I mean, you were before.
Yeah, I was used to business owner before, and most of all the restaurants I was involved with were family. It was a family-ran business. Like my mother's a gangster chef. Like she cooked side by side on the line with me back in the day at the Spanish restaurant with the 9-fingered guy holding a gun like that. My mother was like hardcore kitchen, chef, and my father was kind of the accountant business guy. And so when I did Top Chef. It was right around when my season aired, the recession hit in a big way, 2008. And so the fine dining dollars and the expenses went away. I don't know if you guys remember. So I was working for Drew Nipperon at the time, big restaurateur. I'm sure you guys know him.
I do.
And we had a Vietnamese restaurant that got 2 stars from whatever publication it was. It was a good Vietnamese restaurant. And it just kind of like everything just went away, right? And so my parents were looking to get back into business because they were driving us crazy. My sister lost her job at the embassy, and it was just like this thing that we were like, why don't we just get back in the restaurant industry again together, you know? And then we had determined like, oh, the fast casual space could be the space to go after right now, because there weren't too many. I can't even remember any other chefs apart from maybe Wolfgang Puck at the time that had like a fast casual restaurant and
like
a
Wolfgang to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. It was
In
Wolfgang to go.
airports.
Yeah, and so we were like,
It's smart.
let's do the better burger movement. I saw what Shake Shack did, and I was impressed. And I was, dumpster diving over there for a little while, looking at like boxes and products to like, where are they getting their fucking custard from? I know it's not homemade. Let's dive into the dumpster. So
Calling up Danny Meyer.
yeah, and so attaching that with maybe this marketing of like this new Top Chef brand was kind of the idea. So that's why we opened up. It was actually my sister's idea. She was like, I got this location in Capitol Hill. Why don't we open up a burger place? We've done burger places before in Europe. She has a marketing background. She's like, we'll blow up this Top Chef thing. And that's exactly kind of what we did.
And this is Good Stuff Eatery.
This is Good Stuff Eatery.
Okay.
2008, right? Like we opened up 3 weeks before Obama's inauguration.
Which brings me to another thing that I want to ask you about. So Obama has been to your restaurant.
Big time.
And Michelle. Like,
Regulars.
holy hell. So
Yes.
what do you have to plan when the president of the United States is coming into your restaurant?
Yes.
Do they have to scope it out? Do they have to taste all the food to make sure it's not is
Yeah.
the official taster?
No,
taster
there's
coming?
nothing like that. It's not like a Hollywood movie per se, but
There is an official taster. That's a job.
There is a job, but I think that's for like foreign. And my buddies actually were the head detail for that job.
Okay.
So I know a lot of what goes into it, and so when they travel to my place, we'll get like a phone call the morning of.
Okay.
And they'll tell us, hey, security detail is going to come, and they'll come vet the spot for 35 to 40 minutes before.
I worked catering in
Whoever's
DC
supposed
for a
to
long
happen,
time,
right?
And it was a little less. It was more casual than I thought. Maybe it could have been.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
It was totally casual
Right,
because
the leader of our country
I'm
is
sort of
coming in.
like, I could be a crazy person.
Yeah. Well, I remember clearly it was like very loose, and I felt loose in the process, and I was flipping burgers on the line during the years of the presidents coming in, all this kind of stuff. And I remember one of the Secret Service guys coming into the back door, right where my flat top is. I'm flapping, I grab the salt, and I look at him and I go like, anthrax. And he looks, and he
They've heard all the dumbass
yeah, and he just looks at me. He's like, "That's fucking dumb," right?
And I guess part of it
Yeah.
is you see the Secret Service, they've got such like a presence in our world. It's like you're not going to try anything with the Secret Service there.
Totally. But so when like, for instance, when the detail goes to like a Martha's Vineyard, or they go to a different country, for instance, there's a whole like group of people that go, I think it's almost like a month in advance or 3 weeks in advance, and they'll do all the scouting of the grocery stores that they're going to be getting things from,
Yeah.
the
Which is
restaurants they're going to be
so
eating
annoying
at.
when they come here to New York.
Yeah.
It's so much worse here because they're like, everybody stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
And in DC, it's sort of like, yeah, let them go through.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, yeah, a little inside scoop there. But yeah, I mean, that was like the golden years of our restaurants where the Obamas would come in on a regular basis, especially Michelle and her 2 kids. I watched.
You have
her
a
kids.
sandwich named after her, don't you?
I do. I have the Obama burger, which is now the president burger, and then now we had a Michelle turkey melt. We got to work with the White House. We were invited there to cook multiple times. We did like Easter egg rolls. It was kind of like, 8 years of holy fuck, like what, like how my career is, like how did my career take me to Capitol Hill where I'm fucking serving,
Right?
I'm cooking next to a 9-fingered fucking line cook, and now here I am with a president. It's just
I
like,
lived in Capitol Hill, and my boyfriend moved in with me, and the first night he slept there as my official living with me boyfriend, his car got stolen.
yeah. I mean, all sorts of shit's got to. Yeah.
Is this Wes or Eric?
Less. And the porter came running upstairs. He goes, "They stole your car."
Yeah, totally.
All right, Eric was New York. Sorry, I messed up timelines because
And I'm like,
a
"Babe,
little drunk.
they stole your car."
Actually, my car got stolen from DC too.
Oh, that's right, but
I've
then
gotten
you
so much
found it.
shit. My,
But then we found it. Oh my
Les's-
god! It got
Les's
taken
car
from
was
one
gone.
of oh my god, the metro stops. Dear Lord. Anyway, okay.
You're,
so
you're no one until someone steals
steals
your car
in DC.
Totally.
We went to the DC
Totally.
Zoo that day. Me and my boyfriend. Shout out Jimmy Blue. Okay, so since you're the burger guy,
Burger Guy.
You won Burger Bash
Burger Bash, yes.
against Bobby Flay and all these other big
That's
names.
right. It was the OG, the original, before Josh Capon. I know you're listening, Josh.
All right,
You're out
so
there. Just kidding.
we have
Just
a
kidding.
I
love
really
Josh. I love
dumb
Josh.
challenge for you.
Yes.
You see these 3 plates?
Yes, these 3 rice bowl looking plates.
So we have 3 chain burgers under there,
Ooh.
and we're gonna.
They're cold now. They've been
They're
sitting there
very
for
cold.
hours.
Are these blind tastings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we're gonna see if you can determine which top 3 fast food chain these come from.
And we do also have a blindfold because
Yes.
we feel like we're just going to make
Because
it
if
that
you,
much.
I think if you saw them, it kind of
No, I'll know. If I see them, I'll know.
Yeah,
I'll
all right,
I know
so-
right
French.
away.
We bought French fries, but we were like, the minute you see the French fries, you know
Yeah.
exactly.
So is this literally like hundreds of franchise? Like, is this from, or are these neighborhood places?
no, these are franchises that you can
Okay.
find in any
These
major
are
city.
the top
Just
3
don't feed me
fast.
a
It's
Shake
not like
Shack burger.
food.
I'll be
not
pissed.
Shake Shack.
No,
It's
just- I'm
not
just
Five
messing. I'm
Guys.
messing
It's
with
you know what I mean.
They're
Like,
they're the top 3, if that helps. The top 3.
Great.
All right.
that
Yeah.
we could
You know
find
what they
in
are.
this area.
Do any of them have meat? Because I'm vegan.
Shut up. You
Just
are
kidding.
not
I'm
vegan.
not vegan.
Yeah, just I mean, you know what they are. I don't know. Okay. Oh, she cut them in half so we could enjoy this journey with you.
Ooh.
Right here.
Okay. Okay.
We love blindfolding men on this show.
Yeah, I see.
All right. You want to take? You don't know. I know what they are, but you don't know what they are. I don't. Okay.
But I can at least see them, and I already know which one this is. Bless. You want to eat that?
I'll take a bite. I'm interested.
Because I said to Judith, I'm pretty positive, even if I were blindfolded, even
wanna
though I
hand it back
haven't
to me?
had any of these burgers
Yeah.
in years,
That's a McDonald's.
that I would know the difference. You might want to suspend your judgment.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay, that was one.
Okay.
That was number 1.
I know what that is, and I'm going to just say it to the camera.
Muchas gracias.
All right. Number 2. Oh, God. This
Excessive.
is sad. Looking at this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, there's something in that gives it away.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. The last one.
We all know what we're talking about? Yep.
I do.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about.
Pour myself some more whiskey.
I'm gonna put this in your hand and then go grab another napkin.
All right. This is option 3. This is burger 3.
This is burger 3. Okay. Okay. It's exciting, guys.
Did I run out of napkins?
Oh my God. Number 3 has the least amount of taste.
I'm interested.
Taste it. Okay. It's like nothing. You're just chewing. You're just chewing.
Depends what state you're in, too, because
You want to hand it back to me?
I'm actually really surprised because I thought that also
Yes.
would. I'm pretty sure I know what that is. I'm positive I know what all 3 of them are, but I thought that would be more of a. You can take that blindfold off now if you want, unless you just want to stay like
I figured
that.
I'd just do the whole podcast like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. All right, so number 1. What do you think number 1 was?
Number 1 was a burger I don't really eat often, I think. And Well,
Would it help if we told you the 3 chains that we're talking
Do you
about?
think that's cheating, or do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
no, I'll give it a shot first.
Okay, we love this.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot 1st. Number 2, let's just get number 2 out of the way.
Number 2.
is is Burger King.
Absolutely.
Char grilled.
The char.
Char grilled flavor.
I can confirm that is a
Yes.
You can taste it.
that's a junior Whopper right
Yes. Yes. And exactly.
Yeah.
And,
It's so easily detectable.
and number 3 is I think it's a McDonald's. I think number 3 is a McDonald's.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is surprised because there's no flavor
Yeah.
in
There's
that fucking burger.
flavor.
That was the worst
Jesus
burger.
Christ, that's the worst burger.
That was the worst
that
burger.
was.
And then the number 1 was it Wendy's?
Yep.
It was Wendy's.
Woo, the burger king supreme.
High five. You fucking reign supreme. Good job.
I'm very impressed. Good
Right?
job.
Yes.
Wow.
Wendy's always had the better burger.
Wendy's
out
is
of
the
these
best.
3 for me.
Absolutely.
They use like a real little lettuce there, not the shreds.
I'll
it's a
still
good-
eat a Wendy's burger.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'll still eat any of these burgers.
I'll pass on that. I can't
But
even remember the
interesting
last time I
that
had
char
McDonald's.
grilled.
That's their whole
flavor.
marketing campaign, and you can actually
It
really
really
taste
comes
it.
through.
Yeah.
It really actually comes through.
Fascinating.
It's probably fake char
It's
grilled
fake.
flavor.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It's
Because you can do
Smoke
that.
flavor.
You can have you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm sure there's no char grill about it over there. In fact, I did a Wendy's deal once. It was great. I don't know why I got this deal, but I had to went and create a new Wendy's burger,
Okay.
and I did the Baconator, I think it was. The
Baconator.
with chili on it.
All right.
I did the chili burger with the Baconator. I made the Baconator chili burger, and they were like, "Oh my god, Chef Spike Mendelsohn,
it's so amazing."
Fucking mind blown." They got me like a fucking red chef coat and everything. It was amazing. It was a fun little promo.
Cute.
But, yeah. Burgers have been part of my life.
But
Yes.
then
then what?
you marry a vegan
That's right. Yes.
and you open a fast casual chain of vegan
That's
burger
right.
restaurants
That's
called
right.
Plant.
Yes.
Talk
the
to us.
crazy things we do for love.
Right?
The crazy things. Well,
How
my
did
wife
that happen?
said like, I can't marry you unless you open up a vegan burger place. So I was like, all right, here we go.
That's quite something.
Here we go. Happy wife, happy life. It's interesting because I was, apart from the fast casual world, I was working at high-end restaurants, as you guys know. I had a bistro as well in Capitol Hill, which I loved. And I was very much against the vegan, vegetarian movement. It was like I was the chef. You walk into my place, it's like, fuck off. Like, what are you doing? Like, go somewhere else. It was very, probably right around the same time I was promoting juicy watermelons on the fucking
Grapes.
articles. Right, I had like all these things that my ways were set, and it was, I was young, and, fast forward, I think like the eating habits of the world, especially when you start to involve yourself in policy as a chef, like I have, is like the diet is something that's really important, and a lot of the reasons we have like obesity and diabetes, or people like in underserved communities, it's because they're being
Fed garbage.
What's available is garbage, right? They're buying
And it's
it,
also bad for the planet.
and it's bad for the planet, right? So when I was starting to look at my platforms, I've always had a charitable way in my life, whether it's my parents' restaurants with St. Jude's or whatever. We always gave back in the restaurant community. It's kind of why I love this industry, right? We're like the first responders. We're always there, and And yes, I had a burger place, but someone introduced me to Beyond Meat Burger, which is my co-founder, Seth Goldman.
So that's what you use at Plant.
That's what we use at Plant. And I was mesmerized on how the burger performed, because I was kind of laughing. We were on a panel together. He's like, I heard you're the burger guy. Here's some Beyond Meat burgers. Here's some Honest Tea, because he was the founder of Honest Tea as well.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, kind of laughed. I was like, who does this guy think he is giving me veggie burgers, right? And of course, I didn't do my homework. Obviously, he was like co-founder of Beyond Meat and Honest Tea. I was like, all right, great, you really shit the bed on that one, Spike. And so I took him back home, and I cooked them up. And again, the performance was amazing. We grilled them outside. It was a very early version of Beyond Burger. They had like a lot of work still to do, but it kind of sparked like this thing. Like, and I've always wanted to push the industry forward, right?
It was a challenge.
It was always a challenge. Like, I was Top Chef, then it was policy, then now it's plant-based stuff. I always want to us to, as an industry, to break through.
Yeah,
you know?
disrupt that shit.
Disrupt the shit and see what's available out there for us. Because for years we just got taken advantage of. You know, chefs just in kitchens cooking food. So for me, it was just, you know, it was a moment where I had like this aha moment. I was like, well, what the fuck? Like these burgers right here are affecting the planet. They're affecting people's diets. Sure, I'll visit them as well. I'm just as guilty of eating a Wendy's fucking burger or a fucking Big Mac or anything. But if it's your entire diet for the week and very repetitive, and it's not like a treat.
Big oversized me.
Yeah.
What was it?
Supersized
me.
And he
Like
just
Morgan
died.
dropped dead.
He just fucking dead.
He just
He
dropped
died.
dead.
Yeah. It's because of that documentary, goddammit.
But I feel like in the 90s when I was a vegetarian, my mom like brought home those like Morningstar.
Morningstar.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is not it.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
just not
Exactly.
it.
So many strides have been made in that
Moon
world.
Burger, is it called Moon Burger?
Moonburger.
Moon Burger is ridiculously
Delicious.
good. Beyond
Yeah.
Burgers are so good.
Yeah.
Especially the new ones with the avocado and the oil
So
in them. Like they're getting
good.
better, you know?
It's like you don't need to
It
have.
bleeds like actual meat. It crisps.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, like
That's what Judith said.
The plant burger we've created, it beats every single one of these burgers as far as flavor, taste, and like
I would
like
agree.
by far, like it by far. It's almost as comparable as a good stuff burger, but not to me. It's not there like a good stuff burger is a good stuff burger. It's like it's authentic, but for the fast food space, the Beyond Meat burger, plant burger in specific, it can kind of maybe loosen up. Like, you know, it could be a healthy fast food that's just as indulgent, just as greasy, same eating occasion. You're still fucking getting a shake. You're still getting fries.
Hell yes.
And that's kind of was the conception of Plant Burger. So here we are. We got the 13 locations.
13, and that started in a Whole Foods in Maryland.
It started
right?
in Whole Foods in Maryland and 115 square feet. We proved the model there. It was like a month before COVID hit. And then after COVID, since we had this deal with Whole Foods, it was really interesting and opportunistic. Their hot food buffet area went fucking dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were like, we need you to open up more plant burgers.
Totally.
And so we opened up 10 locations quietly during COVID. And we're just kind of like, you know, just kind of giggling a little bit because
I feel like so many times we talk to people and COVID is a sharp turn in everyone's career.
Every
Yeah.
interview, basically.
Everyone
yes.
was like, well, we figured it out. And it went amazingly this way or it went amazingly this way. But it was like, we
Yeah.
all had to just figure it out.
there
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
We had to figure out where to get our juicy
We're
watermelon.
photographers,
Yeah.
and now we're pivoting
Yeah.
to tacos.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I had a hunch that the industry was heading towards, and I'm sure many other people did. I wasn't the only one that had a hunch, but like I felt like we had a little bit of a like we were growing within ourselves. We had like a balloon moment, right? And I thought, I was like, what's gonna break? Something's gonna have to break this industry up a little bit. I didn't imagine it to be COVID, but you're right. To your point, it's fucking mesmerizing to me how many businesses just folded. weren't. You know, we always called our DC restaurants recession-proof because we were.
Right.
We were
Because there is
recession-proof.
always going to be
Yeah.
a population of people in DC buying
Right,
food.
exactly. But we weren't COVID-proof. Right?
No.
Yeah, okay, we were not
Who would've
COVID-proof.
thunk?
Yeah, who would have thought? So it makes you think outside of the box and rethink your business strategy, and you have to bring on third-party sales and all that bullshit, you know, which is one of the things I hate about the industry, but not the one.
All right. Well, let's talk about since you've pivoted to this like help the planet, this whole vegan, this whole
Yeah.
I'm a do-gooder now instead of a fedora wearer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about Eat the Change.
Eat the Change, yes.
Talk about that.
It's super complicated. So Eat the Change.
Tell us the not complicated version.
Yeah, no, I'll give you the one too. So Seth and I, with Plant Burger, co-founders, you know, he came from a CPG world, so I pulled him into the restaurant industry.
Tell people what CPG is.
Consumer packaged goods. So basically, like, you know, at the grocery stores, there's all your favorite snacks, your drinks, all that is called consumer packaged goods.
Or
and
CPG, as they say in the biz.
Exactly. That's a little business talk. And it was my first endeavor into CPG. He's like, great, we have like this burger place. The slogan's called Eat the Change you wish to see in the world. He's like, how do we turn that into a snack company? And so there we have it.
Taken from Be the Change You Wish to See in the World.
Exactly. So we open up a snack company and we're peddling fucking mushroom jerky. We're peddling carrot chews, and it sucks.
There are 6 crops.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know why
I
you
put
say it's
some
like
mushroom jerky
Yeah.
in my online cart the other day, and then I abandoned it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I was halfway there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the market is small for that exact reason. And, so we had guidelines with Eat the Change. So
There's 6 crops responsible for food production that
Totally.
you are not using.
that's right.
Tell us those 6 real quick.
Yeah, that part of the company doesn't really exist anymore. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we
Then
had.
never mind. I'll edit it out.
Well, no, we had guidelines for the snack
okay.
company. It was like we want to be water efficient.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be organic. We won't use rice. We won't use cane sugar. We won't use corn. We won't use potatoes. We won't use these highly commoditized crops that, if you think about it, 65% of the food that we eat are based off of these 6 crops.
Which is nuts.
Especially when we have 595,000 other ingredients to use in our food system
Right.
to make up our diet. So the fact that we're so reliant on these 6 crops
So
is
the
dangerous.
idea of not using them is because of the monopoly, the condensing of the power into one.
Well, just
silo?
the effect it's having on our planet and the soil,
Okay.
right? Because it's just such a highly commoditized crop. So high fructose syrup is in almost in everything,
Yeah.
right? Potato starch, potato is almost in all these little candy things. You know what I mean? And so like it's just not healthy for the planet. It's also not healthy for our diets, and to be so reliant on a subset of crops.
My dad is involved with bird-friendly rice,
Yeah.
like
Look at that.
crop rotation for
Shout
for
out, Paul
marshes.
Basich.
Yep, for
Shout out.
making it healthier for the planet and for the birds. Birds got to live there.
Her dad's
he
an
a bird guy?
ornithologist.
Yeah. I like that.
He's a bird dude.
Are they just all over the place in the neighborhood?
Our little rice paddy
In Columbia,
There are
Maryland.
birds everywhere.
Birds everywhere.
Everywhere.
All right, so also talk to us about how you are a chairman of the DC Food Policy Council since 2015.
Great one. Yeah. So, I mean, another one that it just fell in my lap. So I got involved in a boot camp with the James Beard Foundation, which was like training chefs on how to be into policy and how to push policy. You know, like the Tonka Likiers of the world, Michel Nichans, the Jose Andreas.
Yeah.
And that chefs actually have a larger voice than what we believe in our own, in our communities. And so that was the big idea, is like chefs have a big voice. We have, especially my restaurants are on Capitol Hill, so I have a lot of policy people that are always coming to our restaurants. How can I use my voice to push better food policy for all? And so that was like, at the end of the day, that's how I got involved with policy. Because of that, the mayor asked me to be the chairman of the very first food policy council in DC. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing when she asked me to do this.
What an honor that.
And what an honor it was, but also what the hell. Like I went from interviewing dishwashers to like interviewing Yale graduates and like Harvard graduates to be on this food policy council, because I was like tasked with the idea of forming 12 members that would make up the council. And just so I could back it up, it's a piece of legislation, and these are really good, and these are starting to get adopted all over the United States. This is a great way to push the local food policy sector. And so what happens is, in DC, we formed a piece of legislation which combined government effort, community effort with the private sector. So now all of a sudden there's this one piece of legislation for the first time ever that encompasses everybody that should be part of the conversation and at the table. Because usually it's just maybe government pushing it, or maybe
Right.
it's just
Right.
private sector, and then
Yeah.
communities wanting something different, and they're not all talking. So things are happening, but it's not cohesive. So now this piece of legislation umbrellaed everybody. I got to nominate what I thought were some of the most influential people in the DC area doing food policy in the private sector. Unbeknownst to them, a lot of them were working on the same issues and would be stronger together than working separately, which is a lot of DC stuff, right?
So
Better
specifically,
perks.
what are you changing?
Yeah, so making it more attractive to retailers to do business in underserved communities, like getting Walmarts to sign deals, getting grocers to sign deals there, signing into action the Cottage Act, which allows business owners to prepare things out of their own home and sell it to people in neighborhoods, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just like all that kind of stuff. It's really trying to prop up and drive more business into these underserved communities. Most of my work was getting this thing, like it took a good 2.5, 3 years to get it really organized, where it can actually start to do stuff. And I think that's what I'm most proud of, is enacting the Food Policy Council. We did have some really good wins and some big wins, but there's so much now that it's a well-oiled machine. They're going to be able to take on so much more.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Sometimes
service.
some fresh blood will look and see what you've done and think of it in just a completely different way that you hadn't seen it, and it'll just keep going, and
Yeah.
that's the hope, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, you know, the needs of the underserved community when it comes to food policy in DC is different from the needs in Baltimore,
For sure.
right? So when you have like these overarching, like, laws when it comes to food, it's like it's difficult because it's like certain states don't need all the same things, right? Or certain cities need different things. So that's what the food policy. That's what's interesting about these food policies. So eventually, I hope that every state has a food policy councils, and then they convene in DC to
So
push
important.
Discuss
this larger, exactly
what they know locally,
Exactly.
which might not work
Right.
right,
in Nebraska.
totally, totally. So it's fun. It's fun. It let me feel like I was doing service, and you know,
What a long
And
way
it's
you've come. Well, now we want you to bitch about other shit.
yeah.
So
I can
this
bitch.
brings us to our favorite segment here on Put It In My Mouth. It's called I Don't Fuck With That.
Yeah.
And so we want to know what is pissing you off about this industry we know and love so much. Can you do
Yeah.
an air horn? Because we don't have the one.
That was pretty good.
That was good. That was one of our top air horns.
Yeah, that's definitely the top.
I'm not
three.
just blowing smoke up your ass. Maybe I am. But that was great. So who wants to go first?
You go first.
All right. Here's what's pissing me off. We're at
This week.
Yeah, just this week. We're at the end of summer, right? So we're been doing a lot of walking the last few months. What's pissing me off is this trend in restaurant design where all these fucking restaurants are doing these like fake flower installations.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, they're everywhere in New
Yes.
York. And it's like, when did restaurants decide this is going to bring the people in? And they fade in the sun, and they're full of dust, and they're disgusting.
Zinsky, it's
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I was at brunch,
God.
and I was in front of one of those restaurants. There were flowers everywhere.
Flowers everywhere.
This woman, two women, brought a gigantic poodle, one of the largest poodles I've ever seen in my life, dressed in like,
like
a
an oxymoron.
multicolored.
Yeah, right? It is.
Poodle.
This poodle was
Like a jumbo shrimp.
The poodle was wearing a crown and like a tutu and like sparkles.
And she had to take photos in front of the
they
floral
did-
installation?
The three of the poodle and the two women did a photo shoot of the poodle, and there was like a fuzzy throne, and that's what those flowers are for dogs dressed up in fairy
So,
costumes
it's
to
so
take
funny. It's-
pictures.
I just
Yeah.
thought they were
Put them
to
on
make the
Instagram.
outside of the restaurant look nice. And in my opinion, it's
Not
the
fair.
opposite.
It's not
I
fair
hate
to
it.
mosquitoes and bees. It's just they're confusing
It's
the whole
so
fucking thing.
Gross,
So,
and
yeah.
I hate this trend.
Yeah, I hate it too. There's a restaurant. There's like a bakery lunch place here in New York that does this at every single location. It drives me crazy. You know which one I'm talking about? It's kind of like a tate, but it's not.
There are several.
It's got like the wave logo. It's like a squiggly line.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like a high-end croissant coffee.
And they do
It's like
the
the flowers everywhere. So it's just so annoying.
big fake flower probably
you don't
has
fuck
their
with that.
hand in everything.
That pisses you off.
Big fake flowers in restaurants. What
Will
about
you go to a restaurant that has those anymore?
No, because I
Just
feel like that's
seeing it
you're
everywhere?
not a serious restaurant.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not serious people.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you're buying into Instagram trends to get people in. Like, come on, bro. Your
Yes.
food should be doing that. Like,
Totally.
you don't need that shit. What's pissing you off, Judith?
So as I get older and more comfortable in my life, I'm learning to be able to say that I don't like things
Good for
with
you.
food. You know,
Yes.
like I've
Yeah.
never felt comfortable being able to say, I just don't like that.
Okay.
So there are like a handful of things that I'll even admit that I don't like.
Okay.
And I think I have a new one.
Tell us.
Ooh, juicy.
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Wait.
Rosemary.
I think it's season
The
specific.
Pope is like turning right now.
It's
He's
a
like-
caveat. Wait, I have a
Okay,
caveat.
okay,
I love
let's
this.
hear it.
I love
Let's hear
the
it.
smell of it.
Okay.
I love the taste of it.
Uh-huh.
I don't like little bits of burnt rosemary
Or the garnish.
in my food. Because
garnish
what's going to
annoys
happen?
me.
You're going to pick it out of your teeth, or you're going
Yes.
to pick it off of the thing.
Yes.
Like there's got to be a bit. Does it look nice? Tell me, chef. Is it supposed to look pretty?
I hate when a
Because-
branch of rosemary is just like
because
sticking in my
you,
mashed
you
potatoes.
you roast the potatoes with the rosemary, right? So
Sure.
that the taste is
Yes.
in the potatoes.
Yes.
You don't have to leave the fucking sprig of rosemary
You don't.
in it.
No,
Agreed.
you
I
don't.
like this one,
You know.
Judith. I'm with you.
I am over it, and I am proud to say that at 46 years old,
Don't tell the
you
people
can
over
add
it.
that to the 3 things I will say out loud that I don't like to eat.
You're over it.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, I'm on. Pressure's on right now.
Chef,
So things
what's
that
pissing you off?
Things I don't fuck
I mean,
with.
we've gotten really specific.
Yeah.
And, cold butter is
Yeah.
was
Well,
a
you know,
good one.
Caviar
I
on
don't fuck
everything.
with the James Beard Foundation.
Oh, hot take.
How about that? How about that?
tagging
I knew that
them.
one
Got
would
a
be.
little tingle.
I don't fucks with the James Beard Foundation chefs. All you out there.
Tell us why.
Well, one, I think it's kind of corny. I just think like this idea of tuxing up for chefs and celebrating ourselves in this way and patting ourselves in the back and giving awards. I've never really gone to one, so maybe that's
Asterisk.
I just feel like it's whatever. And then I think there's so many other people that deserve praise in our industry that don't really get it.
Okay.
So, and from that point of view, I don't love it.
Do you feel this way about Michelin as well?
In the United States?
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
But European Michelin, I don't feel that way. I'm
Okay.
a
Be
big 3
said
Michelin
about
star.
any of the big, like the Grammys or the Emmys or the Oscars.
I think they are said about it.
Because
There are people that stand out.
Like 0.01% of the actors are going to ever even be invited to the Oscars, right?
course.
But there's so many amazing actors, so it could be said about any one of these things.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the James Beard specific to me.
Okay.
Well, because
It's specific.
because you're not an Oscar-nominated
There's a
actor yet.
there's a backstory. I mean, listen.
Tell us.
If James Beard calls me and like we're nominating for something next year, I'm like, hey,
You're gonna call us
I'm gonna
and
ask
be
you to
like,
edit
look
this
at my
podcast,
award.
Wipe the internet.
edit this fucking podcast, wipe the internet ASAP. No, I'll give you the background where it starts. So when I was working for Thomas Keller at Bouchon in Yountville at his bistro, which took me forever to get that job, and I had been there for about 8-9 months, my dream was to always work at Louis XV in Monaco, Alain Ducasse's restaurant, very hoity-toity.
Fancy.
Right, I had applied.
All of those words are fancy.
Yeah.
When I was working in France, after I was done working at Le Creuer, another fancy word, which was a 3 Michelin star Relais Chateau, my chef there gave me a note to go to the Louis XV to go work there, and they refused me. They're like, we don't take Americans here at this restaurant.
And you're like, I'm Canadian.
Exactly, by the way, which was the
BT
weirdest
dubs.
thing. Everyone in the kitchen called me
Montreal,
L'Américain. I'm like, I'm fucking not American, I'm Canadian, goddammit. And L'Américain was my name.
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, je parle français, bien sûr. Ouais. Toi aussi?
Un
Pourquoi?
petit peu.
Un petit peu,
No,
okay.
you got it. That was
All
it right there.
A little French. Boom, boom. So this scholarship gets put up from the James Beard Foundation. It's called the Alain Ducasse Scholarship. Right. So I apply for this scholarship. I win the scholarship. The scholarship is working 9 months in Monaco at Louis XV.
Get the fuck out of here.
And 9 months at the Essex House here in New York. That was the scholarship, right? 18-month scholarship of working in both places. Dream. I quit my job at Thomas Keller's. They're like, what? Like, what are you doing? I pick up my shit. I fucking drive across the United States. I lose my Monte Carlo on the way. That's a whole other story.
Was it in D.C.?
What?
Get
it ended up
stolen in DC outside of the zoo.
with Soja hanging out. yeah. They have my Monte Carlo. And so then I finally get to New York, and I'm a week out of accepting my scholarship and working. And then the James Beard Foundation has their first scandal, where the CEO is stealing a bunch of money, and so I get to New York, and my scholarship gets pulled from me. I don't get the Louis XV. I don't get this, and that's how I ended up in New York. And I had $1,000 left, and with that $1,000 off of Craigslist, I got keys for an apartment in Astoria, which I had to eventually move out of because of bed bugs. But that was like my start in New York City.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. But so I was like, fuck you, James Beard. You
Wow.
know?
Okay, that's legit.
Yeah.
That's, I'll allow
but
that.
they've also had moments that I wouldn't be too proud of as an organization, and somehow they just make it
You
out
could
of
have
it.
weaponized the bed bugs.
I should have
could have
weaponized.
given them
Dude,
bed
the
bugs.
fucking bed bugs were fucking.
My psychiatrist says that I have PTSD.
Judith had a crazy bed bug situation.
Just you
Dude.
saying the word.
Me too. Like,
I'm gonna have to set this outfit on fire.
We almost set the whole apartment on fire.
Oh, yeah.
We left. You wanted like extra money. We're like, dude, your place has bed bugs. We're gone.
I'm leaving
But,
the country.
Yeah.
All right,
Those
well,
were my
let's
New York
end
days.
this stressful conversation. And
So let's eat more burgers.
let's not those, though.
Yeah.
Let's go to a quick round to finish this up real quick.
Ooh, we're
All
finished. This is quick. You guys do quick work
I
here.
mean, look,
at
this
that.
has been over
We-
an hour
we
of
pay by
talking.
the
That's
hour,
the thing.
Spike.
It's so much fun.
Quick
Time just
work.
flies.
It just flies.
It's been over an hour.
Greenie, we went over with Greenie.
Oh, sure.
Did you?
Can you imagine?
So Greenie gets over, but I don't get over.
You're over.
I don't
It
get
was like
over.
riding
I'm over. I'm
this
over.
is not sexual.
How much over am I compared to
It
Greenie?
was like
right
riding
now?
a Bronco. Greenie
Yeah.
was like,
Greenie would not rein it in. We couldn't. You can't control that, man. Look, we told him we'd do a part 2 with him. We'll do a part 2 with you.
Okay, great.
any
Maybe
day.
we could do our part 2s together, Greenie and I.
Well, can
we're
you
gonna have
imagine?
half a
Can you
day.
fit an extra chair in here? Like,
6 hours.
That would be a 6-hour podcast. Dear
The
Lord.
filibuster podcast. It just keeps
B12
going on. Yeah.
injection.
We'd need so much booze. But this is our quick fire round.
Ooh.
You know a thing or two about quick fires.
It's just a thing. Just a thing or two.
It's just a thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Lost
So
most of them.
I'm just going to ask you some questions, and I
Yeah.
just want to hear what comes to your
To the brain, the
temporal
noggin.
lobe real quick. All right. All right. Here we go.
Tell me.
Favorite stony snack.
Favorite stony snack?
Yeah.
Rice Krispie treats.
Oh. Favorite Top chef.
Favorite Top Chef. Wow. Favorite Top Chef.
Don't
You
say
gotta pick
Spike.
one.
Don't say fucking Spike.
Yeah, Mr. Mendelsohn, the fedora wearing, fucking amazingness.
Egomaniac.
I'll start. Yeah. No. Favorite Top Chef. Stephanie Izzard was one of my favorite. Marcel.
Okay.
They're good ones.
Shouting out your homies.
Yeah.
Favorite DC slice.
We the Pizza.
Oh, your own place?
No.
Favorite DC slice that's not your own.
Yeah. Favorite DC slice has to be. I mean, it's when I'm really, really fucking drunk, but we'll give
Great.
a shout out to Jumbo Slice.
Jumbo slice. I don't know it, but apparently Judith does.
We're sending people over there right now. Right? I love that you know what I just did right now. So.
I am Googling immediately. Favorite New York slice.
Favorite New York slice. I mean, Joe's throws a really good fucking slice of
Classic.
pizza out there. You know,
Favorite date spot in DC.
favorite date spot in DC. Wow, fuck. What was dating? I haven't been on a date forever.
You don't
Oyamel.
take your lady out?
We do go on dates, and we go to Oyamel, which we love. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a Jose Andreas Mexican little spot. It's great. Yes.
All right. Well, since you told me you don't watch Top Chef, I don't know if you have an answer for this, but Padma Lakshmi or Kristen Kish? The two hosts.
In like what context?
Just
Just
that.
Quick fire,
Just that.
Just, yeah.
Just you got to say it.
Kristen
Own it.
Kish.
Okay. Oh, not even the host of your season.
Yeah.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac West Coast.
Oh my God. Guilty pleasure
Canadian.
food.
Yeah, Canadian, exactly. We're so like we're not on either side of it. Like we're right in the middle.
Bro,
Like,
you grew up in Clearwater,
West Coast,
Florida.
so
Don't
fucking
get it
hardcore.
twisted.
Clearwater.
West Coast, Montreal.
You grew up in, was it Clearwater, Florida?
Clearwater, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. After Montreal. Oh, after Spain. Yeah. Back
What
to
a
Clearwater.
place.
What a culture shock. Right? I went from high pants and penny loafers to fucking Florida.
Do you have a guilty pleasure food?
Guilty pleasure.
Which I don't
food?
believe in. I think everything should not be a guilty, but sometimes we feel that way. Shout it out.
I eat those Edmonds chocolate covered donuts.
Oh, God.
But
That's
lately-
so gross.
Lately they're smaller
chocolate
and
wax.
Yeah. And now I think they're waxier than they used to be honest
They're
with you.
definitely smaller.
I'm like, they're definitely smaller and waxier. I don't think we're going to buy them anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys, right? Like,
Way to ruin like
Way to
sounds like
ruin-
a basic pleasure.
Yeah.
Seriously. Do
Dummies.
you have a kitchen hype song?
my kitchen hype song is Marilyn Manson.
Oh, hot take.
And it's it could be what was it? Is well no, it's The Size of Your Steeple. What's the song? I forget. It's a Marilyn Manson song.
Great.
Okay.
I saw Marilyn Manson open for Nine Inch Nails when I was 15.
Dope
Anyway,
Show. The Dope Show.
Dope Show.
Dope Show.
We're all stars now in
the
the
Dope
Dope
Show.
Show. Okay. Favorite burger
Marilyn
spot?
Manson, very talented guy, by the way. Very, very talented singer.
Brian.
Yeah.
Favorite burger spot that's not yours?
Favorite burger spot that is not mine, Capitol Grill.
Capitol Grill. And the last question. The best thing you've put in your mouth lately?
Wiley Dufresne's mozzarella sticks.
I've been to Stretch Pizza, but I have not had the
Let's do it.
Yes,
sticks.
get his mozzarella sticks.
I met
Okay.
him recently, and
He's-
he was such a gem of a
He's
human. I
got-
love that
He's
man.
got some secret mozzarella stick.
bet he
Are they off menu?
Shit going on. No, they're not. They're
on
very
the
much
menu?
on menu, but his, and he's, He's a madman. He's
There's
great.
not much I love more than a mozzarella stick.
No, and there's not much I love about how much passion you put into pizza and a mozzarella stick.
Good
This guy's on the
Lord.
next level. Like his dough was just like popping today. Shit was popping.
Okay.
I'm
You guys gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm
go
so
check it out.
hungry right now.
I know.
So hungry. All right, well, Chef, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for
I feel
having
like we
me,
could have a
ladies.
part two,
Really?
obviously.
Such an honor.
Obviously.
Shout out your socials, how people can find you, follow you, blah, 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 on the Instawebs.
Yeah, you can check out my website, www.spikethechef.com. That's where most of everything lives.
Even the
it's-
Cosmopolitan article.
That's right. Is that where you found it from? Man, I gotta clean that fucking website up.
got
God
no
damn it!
editor in there.
I gotta go edit that shit. What is that? If you asked me that question today, I'd be like bacon and eggs,
Juicy
breakfast of champions. Like, what was I
little
thinking?
sweaty, you got
what
up
a
some
fucking
refreshing
little whore I was.
I got my fedora.
I was a fedora. I was
Gonna
like,
get those
what
ladies.
Gonna get them with juicy watermelon. Yeah, I'm gonna pickle it.
Chefy of you.
God.
All right, well, follow this guy, Spike the Chef.
Yeah, Spike
on
the Chef.
Instagram, and all
you know
that.
and at Chef Spike on Twitter. I don't really do much on X anymore.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay.
But ladies, thank you for having me. When do I get an invite to your hotel out there in
Panama?
Yeah, in Panama.
Come on
Have you
now.
been here? Have you been?
I've been there like 7 times.
Have you?
Of course she has.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
We should do like a little thing there.
It-
Oh my
it-
God, that'd be fucking amazing.
It's
We should do a
really
little thing
special,
there, right?
Spike.
That'd be
Talk
fun.
about
I would love
that.
to
That'd
do
be
it.
dope.
It's special.
Yeah.
I do want to shout out Tammy Lima.
Tammy
Signing up for
Lima.
our Patreon. Thank you, Tammy. We fucking love you. If you sign up for our Patreon, we will also shout you out. I also want to shout out Rebecca Lakudis, who gave us a donation to contribute
Little
toward this pod.
sister.
So thank you, Becca, my little
She's a
sis.
Greek.
Also, her husband
By
is.
marriage.
Yeah.
By okay.
By marriage. He's a Simpson, but yes. And, my parents gave us some money, too. So shout out Matt.
Big time.
Janet,
There we go.
Zimski, thanks for the
Did they
money.
get a mug? No, don't
I'll
give them.
send
They
them
don't
a
need
mug.
a mug.
Look, and this is the thing. You can get a cute glass.
Well,
or
you guys
a
got
mug.
swag
We got
already.
merch,
You guys
bro.
got merch already.
We had merch before we had a podcast.
Put it
Yeah.
in.
We did basically. We're like, what?
It's
what's
funny
cute?
because if you just read it like in one view, it just says "put it in."
Yeah, well,
And I don't know if you
You
might
know.
not believe this, but putitinmymouth.com was already taken.
it was already
Was
taken.
it?
Yeah,
I'm not
which
surprised.
is why we
It
had
was-
to
we were
put
By,
it in my
by
mouth.
some porno site
Pod.
or something very
really
foul.
disappointed.
Yeah.
But we do really think it's funny that the initials of "put it in my mouth" pod is pimp. So
Whoa!
There you go.
that just happened organically.
Yes.
as they say.
Yes. When
Anyway,
you guys
thank
were
you.
sitting and watching, like thinking of names of the show, was this the one that came?
Eating our Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah. Is this the one that came right to mind? Put it in my mouth.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely. I've
Okay.
always wanted a podcast called "Put It in My Mouth."
And look at you now.
Look at me now, interviewing fedora wearing
Spike fucking Mendelsohn.
Top Chef season
Here we
4,
are.
drinking whiskey and eating chain burgers.
McDonald's.
I have fulfilled all my dreams in my life. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to drink more whiskey.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
You know us on all the socials. Put it in my mouth pod. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, go forth and put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth.
Bye. Woo!
What is I like it. What I like it.
Put It in My Mouth podcast is recorded at Podstream Studios and produced by Candace Fox and myself, Lala Zimski. You can find us on all social platforms at Put It in My Mouth Pod. Our theme music was composed by Javier Dunn, and our intro and outro segments were created by Tyler Milliron. Do you enjoy listening to us? We would love to take your money, so please consider sponsoring an episode or helping us out with as little as like $5 a month on our Patreon. Your contribution helps us continue to create episodes. Thank you for your support.